Hi, my name is Diane Da Costa. My perspective is that hair is like fabric. It's silky, smooth, rough, or coarse. You have to look, feel, and touch the hair to determine the texture. My model, Ela, has silky, smooth hair with lots of waves and a lot of frizz. So my perspective today is to approach her hair and cut it wet so I can see the distinct curl pattern and then style her wet so the definition of the curls will be distinct. So once I wet it down and I saw how loose and fine her hair was when it's wet and slippery and silky, I really had to go in and pull it out and adjust for the spring back or the bounce back, because wavy hair and loose wavy hair has a lot of S curl formation. So the 8 universal textures really range from a little straight with loose waves all the way to highly textured hair, which is coily hair and zigzag curls. If you just know the universal textures, it takes all the fear out of how you're going to approach the cut. When you know the universal textures, now you know how to approach the cut. Once you know how to cut, you know the texture, you know how to proceed whether wet or dry. And this takes away all the fears that you have, because if you're a cutter, a master cutter, you love cutting. So what I'm going to do is determine how much bounce she has and how much elasticity by stretching the hair, and it's quite a bit. It's about an inch of bounce and elasticity. So that means when I cut her hair, if I take off 2 inches, it's going to look like 3 inches. Also with the cut, I'm just going to do some slight layering and some feathering in the front to give her a little bit of softness, and so her hair is falling and waving to the side. To begin the cut, I'm going to section Ela's hair into 4 sections, and then I'm going to separate the back into the inverted V and create the perimeter line, guideline all around the hair. Well, the first rule of thumb in cutting any hair is to know what the client's desires are. Obviously, if you cut too much of their hair, they're going to be upset. So with curly girls, it's always going to appear like you cut more than you really did, because their hair bounces back or the curl retention is tighter. I've sectioned off the hair into 4 sections, and I've also created the inverted V or the triangle right above her occipital bone. And that is how you normally approach all cuts, is to create a V or a triangle, an inverted V, and then that is how you're going to create your first perimeter guideline. So before I start the cut, I'm going to actually check her bounce back and her S curl formation again. So you just scrunch the hair up into your hands and look at the curl pattern. And you see the S curl pattern. Her S curl is very distinct and long. And actually when I'm cutting, I'm gonna cut at the end of each curl. Right here, here, and here is where the S formation ends. So that's where you cut the hair. So now you have to distinguish where the S starts and stops, because you cannot cut into a S. It'll make it stick out. You have to cut above or below the curve. You allow for that retention, and then now you know where to cut. And that's why I use my fine shears on her hair, because it's slippery and I really want to get that fine line in there. I've completed the entire back section for my perimeter guideline, and I actually brought everything down to 0 elevation, and as I went up, I slightly brought it out at a 45-degree with no tension at all, and then cut without any tension. Now I'm going to proceed onto the right side and then to the left. Now that the entire perimeter is complete, I'm going to go back in the back section and create my distinct layers on the right side, the left side, and on the top, and continue with the side swept bang. I have a fine, delicate shear that's a 5-inch shear, which I use on relaxed hair or soft hair or wavy hair or silky hair. I just finished the entire right side. I started with my perimeter guideline, and then I went in with my 90-degree layers, and then I went in and point cut the hair and finished the entire right side. Now I'm going to go over to the left side and do the exact same thing. Now that I've completed the whole cut, you can see I've done the perimeter and also put the 90-degree layers in and some point cutting. Now you're going to let the hair dry a little and see how the natural curl is falling. As you can see the layers in the hair, and you can also see how the curl is forming and it's naturally falling. Sometimes when the hair curls up, there's some discrepancy in the curl pattern. So now is when you're gonna go in and clean it up a little bit when it's dry. I really try to focus more on the cut instead of really talking to my clients so much. Even though I'm not gonna mess up, I can talk and cut at the same time. However, the cut will take longer to happen. So I like to just stay in my zone. I'm finished checking my cut, and I'm gonna move on to the top crown area and then complete the bang. I completed the middle section and the left section. Now I'm going to go over to the right crown section. Now that I've completed the entire cut except for the front area, I'm gonna go in from left to right and give soft fringes so that you can wear it in the middle or over to the side. I'm going to hold her hair on a 45-degree and I'm gonna slice the fringes into her hair. Being a celebrity stylist has actually just made me grow and push my creativity to the extreme. It makes you innovative, creative, and just knowing that you're doing something new and exciting is a fabulous feeling. The entire cut is now complete, and now I'm just gonna double check all of my hair. You're just gonna pull all the hair out, make sure each side is meeting at the same length. You're feeling it, checking for the length, checking the layers. The reason I use my fingers a lot is because curly hair has a lot of movement, texture, and it has patterns to it. So you actually want to keep the consistency of the patterns while you're cutting. And now she can wear her hair with the middle part and or over to the side with this cut. Now that the cut is complete, I'm gonna continue with wetting her hair down and then applying a foam and a light curl enhancing cream, and I'm gonna spin her curls and then diffuse her and then separate it and style it. We're ready to apply the product to Hila's hair to make it curly and spirally. So the first step is I'm gonna take some foam and apply it all through her hair. Smooth it in the entire head. Now I'm gonna go in and take some light enhancing curl cream, smooth that in her hair, and then section it and spiral curl her hair. I'm gonna go in and spiral curl Hila's hair in large sections. I'm just spinning the hair around my finger with some product in my hand. I'm gonna spin the entire head in this method, spinning it around my fingers and then bouncing the hair into my palm at the end. Look at that spiral curl. The reason why I'm using this technique on Hila is because she has very loose waves. So I want to create some more elasticity and some more spiral curls in her hair. And this is the perfect way to easily put some spiral curls into her hair and just diffuse the hair, and then you'll see how spirally it becomes instead of just a loose wave. I have product in my hand already, so I'm just gonna spiral her hair and then bounce it. Bounce the curl in your hand. You wanna bounce the ends of the curls because this actually creates the curl foundation in its natural formation. And let it fall naturally. I just completed all the spirals with the finger spinning technique, and I clipped up some of the top to give it a little volume. Now I'm gonna go in and diffuse it with the blow dryer and diffuser attachment. Starting from the bottom, placing it inside of the diffuser and just letting it dry without disturbing the curls. I just finished diffusing Hila's hair, and I'm just gonna place a little glossing serum to give her some shine and to separate her curls while I style. As you can see, the curls turned into cascading curls from the spiral curls after I diffuse them. They're looser and more open. Just gonna put some glossing cream, use your hands always, and style the hair. Open the curls up. I just finished Hila's hair, And as you can see, the spiral curls turned into luscious, cascading curls. Notice the layering, the distinct curl pattern, and the soft side fringe. How do you like your hair, Ela?
I love it.
Me too. For more videos on natural hair and curly hair, go to Milady Education Network. I'm Diane Da Costa.